wrapping up Iron Man's left arm. Let's get to it. This is your Geek Fix. So here in shipment 7, I believe we're on. Shipment 8 will be when we get our next prize or our next surprise. This one has basically the rest of our left arm and shoulder pads. And it looks like beginning to build some of the other hand. I think this is an opposite direction of the way that we built the other arm, but the thing I have to show you right off the bat is, I'll take this part. Ooh, again, some screws inside of here that I gotta watch out for. Look at the size of the shoulder. I mean, that shoulder pad is huge. Look at it. I could almost put that, let me see. I could almost put that on my own shoulder. I mean, look at that. That's how big that is. Looks like we got some finger parts and some other parts and some paper in the bottom. All right, now it looks like the first part that I'm gonna need is this box right here, along with volume 23, which is where we left off last time. This is the skin armor, which I'm not as familiar with. This is kind of getting into that X-Universe period of time, which I did not read much about. So if you're wanting to learn more about that, this is probably a good way to be introduced. Starting off now with what looks like the left arm and shoulder pieces. Ooh, we got some more springs, it looks like. I think this is the spring to the last build mentioned where that notch is on the arm. Whoops, we got a pin. And of course they don't have extras of some of those pieces that are more likely to shoot off to the side. So I've got my 4 pieces that are tied to this one. Bringing my arm back over. I'm gonna take this piece right here, and all I have to do with that one is just slide it on, just like this, and then push it into place. Not too bad. Then I'm going to be getting this piece right here, and I'm going to be sticking that, let's see, like this. I need this part up, and then this part's going to come through here, and I'm going to be putting that spring in between and sliding the pin through it. Stick this here. Push that pin through, like so, just so far. Then I need to make sure that both these pieces, so that piece right there is on top, as well as my little curved part is on top, as I stick this now through. Oops. Yeah, like that. Okay. So you can see that. So that this piece up here is hooked over, and so is that part on the front. So that way when this opens a little bit, it will resist and push it back like that. Okay. So it says go ahead and pull it all the way up. Yep. So there's my spring in action. Okay, perfect. And with that, I can put my arm aside. The next should show a diagram of where these pieces are in comparison to the rest of the body. I kind of wish that this was just before you put it together, because it's kind of obvious after you put it together what you're doing. But anyway, more information about War Machine. Even trying to work undercover, which is kind of funny. I don't think he's going to get very far with that. This looks like a scene out of that was Iron Man 2, right? And then the skin armor, which is similar to what was introduced in the most recent version of the Avengers. So here we go. That's the first volume in that box, followed by volume, wait, that's not right, 24 should be it. There we go, 24. That could have been surprising. So now we're going to be actually working on the shoulder pieces. Also related to the most recent movies. This is about Iron Man being able to cross time and even some of the consequences to that. Here's his death in Avengers Volume 1, number 395. But don't cry yet. Here we are into our next set of pieces, which are these shoulder pads over here. As I mentioned, I mean, these things are huge, really big. So I need those right there. I need the screws right there. We have some plugs also that we want to keep track of. Very first thing I'm going to be doing is taking this piece right here and this piece right here and getting my plug pieces. Those look like these right here. And then I'm going to be connecting these, which they don't feel like they should fit, surprisingly. But this is the right direction also that I want them to connect. So I'm going to be sticking those plugs through. So basically you just stick this through so that the groove fits through that little slot like that. And then I bring this one around. And we'll do this, hook that right onto there. And then I'm going to take my screws and I'm going to screw those right into those holes. So I hook it together like that, and then I'll take the other one, stick it through as well, hooking that onto here, and then screwing in that GM screw on this side as well. Okay, so got this piece that kind of moves like that, and then we take these little caps like this right here, and those just pop on to these two sides, kind of like, nope, they just fit into the hole. Right now, this one continues to go, still using now my left arm here. Now, I am going to be taking this part with the spring right here, and I'm going to be hooking it into here. So, going into the highest point. It's going to be a little tricky. And then I'm trying to screw it into there with IP screws. If you can't tell just because how difficult it is even to film it, this is really awkward. Okay, there's one, and here is two. Luckily that piece that we did earlier with this one of the other springs seems to let it really move, and so I've almost got it. There we go. And so it would be like that. Whoa, look at that. So now it can go like this, right? And it nicely covers everything up. I like that. That is a really good way of doing it. So at any rate, what great movement. And it feels like, oh, I guess it would technically be jointed right here. So pretty neat. Okay, so that's that much. Oh, look at that. Look at the arm movement. And then, so there's the elbow. This also swivels and turns in two directions. So yeah, look at a lot of points of articulation. It'd be great. All right. Justin Hammer. Oh man. There's so much that I'm forgetting was in the comics themselves that really kind of made this universe what it became, and yet haven't really been revisited. But also, notice Tony Stark comes back to life, so maybe that'll happen. I know that Robert Downey Jr. already said he's not going to do that. Whatever, but it's still Volume 25, The Young Iron Man, which is Teen Tony. Kind of the first, I can't remember if DC did their teen heroes first or if it was Marvel, but yeah, a little more sleek outfit. Now we're getting into the left hand. And like I mentioned earlier, remember when we built our first hand, the right hand, we kind of did that all at once. That was the whole box was the hand and the, no. Yeah, the whole box was basically the hand. In this case, it looks like we're just getting into, oops, the two hands. The very first thing that I want to do is I'm taking this ball joint piece right here, and I'm taking, this must be 1L and 1L. All right, now we're going to do the next finger, which comes in 3 parts. All right, and now I've got my finger bending and working pretty well. So we've got 1 thumb, 1 index finger, just like that. And now we're getting into Iron Authors. Those that created Iron Man and that continued to write for Iron Man. And even better than that, we're getting into things like Deadpool. So yeah, volume 26, we're gonna assemble a couple more fingers. Here we talk about those rebirths that I mentioned. So Tony's dead, now he's back. Is that Dr. Doom? It is Dr. Doom. Look at that. So if we look at the joints, we can actually see which one goes to which one, supposedly. So like right here we have 4L. So I know that this next piece I have to connect to it has to be, this is a 3, this is a 4, and then I just need my end of the finger that's also a 4L. And again, testing the finger to see just how stiff it is. I do want them to be kind of stiff to be able to pose the best, and that is perfect. So that completes 4 fingers. Why didn't they give us the pinky finger yet? That's weird. I'm just gonna put together 1 pinky finger and I think the rest of the hand in the next volume. But until then, look at all the stuff that we have that's now complete. So technically we have 2 arms, almost 2 hands, 1 foot, we've got a helmet, we've got the arc reactor, and now who knows what could come next. Want to thank Fanhome for providing us with this model to be able to review, but they also gave us a promo code. So if you're interested in purchasing this, use the code Tony Stark. Also, I'll continue to review these as they come out. So if you can't get it, you can also experience this by proxy. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below, keep watching. This is your Geek Fix.